Hi, my name is Teresa, and my channel is all about food safety, food preservation, cooking, gardening, learning, and just having fun.
I am making today a Thai hot sweet dipping sauce. And be sure to stick around until the end because I am going to show you a quick meal prep idea that you can make with this Thai chili sauce, a noodle bowl that you can have ready in a matter of minutes. So be sure to stick around to watch that. And then I will be steam canning. If you don't have a steam canner, you can also do water bath canning. It's pretty much the same method. If you're not familiar with steam canning, be sure to check out my video. I do have a video on how to steam can. And if you're not familiar with water bath canning, make sure you check out that video as well. I go into a lot more detail into those videos on how to do those different methods, just to try to keep these videos when I'm actually making stuff a little bit shorter and maybe a little bit more interesting. So let's get started. So what I have here is 1 tablespoon of salt, a half a cup of chopped garlic, 6 cups of sugar, 6 cups of cider vinegar, 1/2 cup of hot pepper flakes. So I hope it's not too hot. I kind of like hot, but I think it'll be good because it should make somewhere between 9 to 10 250 milliliter bottles. All that needs to happen, we're going to mix this into a pot, bring it to a boil, and that's it. Then put them in the jars and process them. So I'm going to get that going right now. So I'm going to add my cider vinegar. Put this on the stove top and I'll bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, it's just adding the sugar to help dissolve the sugar. So the vinegar is boiling. I'm going to add in the sugar and stir this until the sugar is completely dissolved. Once the sugar is dissolved, then you just need to add your garlic and salt. I just kind of put the salt in the dish with the garlic. So you add that in and you stir in as well your red pepper flakes. And that's it. A very simple process to make. Now all that's left to do is to get this in the jar and process our jars. Now let's get this sauce inside of our jars. So I got my jars and my canner heating up on my stove. I'm going to bring over a couple jars and proceed to fill all these jars with the beautiful sauce. So remember, as usual, hot sauce, hot jars, warmed up caps, everything needs to be nice and hot. Oh my God, that sauce smells so good. You have to leave 1/2 inch of head space. Whew, the jars are hot. Remember to wipe down your rims. Place your caps on top of the jars. And put your rings on just fingertip tight. I'm going to transfer them over to your canner and continue to do this until you've filled all your jars. I have all my jars filled, and in my steam canner I have 9 jars, just like the recipe said I would have. If you're doing the water bath method canning, that's fine. You'll just have a larger pot with your bottles submerged at least 1 inch underneath the water. Have I told you before that I love my steam canner? It's so easy and it's so quick. I put the cover on and increase the heat and bring it to a really good hard boil. So I have a dial here that's going to tell me where I need to be for the altitude that I live in. And then once I get into the safe zone, I time this for 15 minutes. If you're doing the water bath canning method, same thing, just time that for 15 minutes. So let's bring this up to where we need to be. So if you're doing this water bath canning, before you start your timer, you need to bring it to a boil. And then you start your timing. Whereas for the steam canner, you just wait till you get in the zone and then you start timing the 15 minutes. So I am just about in the zone. So now I'm going to time this for 15 minutes. The time is up. So now I just need to turn the heat off and let your jars sit in the pot with your steam canner with the cover on for another 5 minutes before removing your jars. If you did the water bath method, You need to leave them in your pot as well for 5 minutes before removing them. My jars all came out perfectly. They're beautiful. I had a little bit left over, so I put it in the fridge, and it's really good. It's really sweet, and it's got a little bit of a kick to it. So if you like it hot, I mean, it's not burn your mouth hot, but so you can adjust the spices probably. If you'd like it a little less spicy, maybe add a little less of the red pepper flakes. And if you like it really spicy, go ahead. You can even add more than half a cup, but I find the half a cup is, it's got a nice kick to it. Maybe start with the half a cup and see how it goes from there. Now, as promised, here's this quick meal hack trick that you can do with this Thai chili sauce. It's maybe not the main ingredient, but it's gonna make it so much better and bring this to a whole new level. What I'm gonna make here is a very easy noodle bowl that you can prep in advance, bring to work, and all you need is boiling water to make this work. Now what I use is the really thin vermicelli noodles, like the rice, vermicelli rice noodles, and that's all I need, because this you don't even have to boil. A little bit of hot water in a few minutes, and that's all it needs to get nice and soft and delicious. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your noodles in the bottom of the bowl. I am just gonna sprinkle a little bit of chicken on top. This is just chicken that I happen to have ready. So I'm just gonna throw that in my bowl for a little bit of protein. I wish I had some broccoli, but all I had on hand this time was some cauliflower. That's gonna work perfect. I just broke it up in really small, tiny little pieces so that when I add the hot water in here, it'll cook it down a little bit. But you know what? Crunchy cauliflower, raw cauliflower is one of my favorites anyway. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this on top. And now I'm gonna open a jar of the chili sauce to add on top. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this incredible sauce on top. There you go, that's it. You pop a cover on that, you put it in the fridge. When you're ready to eat, take some boiling water, pour it over top. Now how much water is gonna depend on what you're looking for. If you want it more like a soup, add more water. If you just want enough water to cook the noodles, just put some so you know that your noodles are covered. Put your cover back on, let it sit for a few minutes, just until the noodles cook. These noodles cook really quick, within a minute or two in boiling water, should be all that it takes. So there you go, a nice quick meal prep idea with your Thai chili sauce, and I hope you love it. Remember to leave your bottles setting for 24 hours. Don't touch them, don't move them around, put them somewhere on your countertop, nice and quiet and undisturbed. Be sure to write on top what is inside your jar and the year that you did it, because you may forget what it is that you put in your jar. After the 24 hours are up, be sure to remove your rings. Never store them with the rings on. It could create a false seal, and you won't know that your food unsealed and could potentially have gone bad. So make sure to get rid of that ring once the 24 hours are up. Your jars, your properly sealed jars can last up to a year, even more. If you store them in a cool, dry, dark location, they're good for at least a year, and even more. If you like this content, if you like my channel, don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I have new content out. Be sure to check back again soon to see what other things I've got going on.